Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the third time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn, or go to our YouTube page, Go to Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube page and check us there. And if you're watching us on our YouTube page, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page, for real, come on, guys. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check the chat because the chat is jumping already. Black Diamond in the house. This is the top of the morning, gang. FGB. You see it? I'm wearing the FGB, baby. You know it. Hey, Shawn, did the DT Devontae Wyatt get hurt? That Team of North's game last Thursday. I don't know. I'll double check. I'll get on it and see. Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Monsters. Happy hump day, y'all. FGB. What? FGB. It is, baby. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up, what up, what up, Shawn and Sports Zoners? It's time to kick some Green Bay butt. Let's go. I like it. I like it a lot. Mr. Southside himself. But Sean Walls in the house. What up on a hump day? Bear down, FGB. What? FGB. That's what I'm talking about. FGB. Oh, Steve-O confirmed it. Steve-O confirmed it, Black Diamond. Devondre Wyatt is out for the season. Steve-O confirmed it for us. So, unfortunate for him. Wish him a speedy recovery. Let's see, my man, again. Black Diamond first. Cornelius second. Shawn third. Vetley fourth. Here's FGB fifth. Oh, here I am, sixth. Welcome, Junior. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. The sixth person you said hello to. That's my friend for 28 years. I waited until you come on. So you get all the preliminaries out for the people in the chat while they're waiting. Okay. I see it. Yes. Black Diamond, that's a huge advantage in the run game. Huge. So we're going to find out. We are going to find out. Listen, we got a great show at 10 o'clock. Kole Noble from A to Z Sports is going to come on. We're going to talk all things Bears. We're going to review the game on Sunday, and we're going to preview the game. We're going to review the game on Friday and preview the game on Sunday. Sunday's game got moved. This is the cool part. Sunday's game got flexed or moved to 3:25, the game of the week on Fox. All right, so a lot more people are going to be able to see. Here's what's really cool. The way the Bears have won so far this year. Okay, the way they've won. All right, last second field goal. Okay. Block field goal at the end of the game. Long throw to Colston Loveland in Cincinnati. They have been on the newscasts and in SportsCenter highlights a lot for their last minute, late game heroics. People have seen this. Okay. So they're like, oh, the Bears won again. Oh, man, they won by a field goal. Man, they're getting lucky. Oh, they won by a block field goal. Man, they're getting lucky. Oh, they won a nice long pass. They didn't wrap up the tight end. He ran away. Man, they're lucky. Man, they're getting lucky. They've seen all this. And then people, as many of the pundits said, who have they played? They're not good. They're this, they're that. Wait till you go play the Steelers. Well, they beat the Steelers. Well, you didn't play. Aaron Rodgers didn't play. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Well, guess what? No, you got a big matchup. Let me see you do it against the Eagles. That's going to be a real test. Okay, well, guess what? On Black Friday, the only show on the docket, the only game on the docket that day, the only game. So the whole country was watching. The entire country, maybe even entire North America, was watching. The entire world was watching. And the Bears not only went into Philly and won, but they punked them. They dominated. They manhandled the defending Super Bowl champion with no one out in their front seven. And that is a vaunted front seven. And you have one of the best defensive coordinators in the last 25, 30 years in Vic Fangio. And the way that they were bullied around, the Chicago Bears offensive line imposed their will on the vaunted defending Super Bowl champion defensive front for the Philadelphia Eagles. There's no other way to put it. I'm not exaggerating. There's no hyperbole in there whatsoever. I'm not exaggerating for effect or to make my Bears sound better. No. If you watch that game and you listen to every single person and there are a lot of people who talk shit. Talib Aqib or Keep Talib, man, he backpedaled like Deion Sanders the other day. He was like, man, I want to apologize to Ben Johnson. I want to apologize to the Bears. Because there's no way you do that to the defending Super Bowl champions with that type of front that the Philly has and not be considered dominant. There's no way you can do it without being considered dominant. Okay? And like I said, with Herb, after that game, that was the first time I started thinking, why not us? Why not us this year? Okay, why not us? Run game travels. Okay, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about the elements, it doesn't matter. Our offensive line is tuned in. They are locked in. The pin and pulls, the double teams, the chip trays. Unreal. It's unbelievable how this team went with the entire world watching. That gave me a lot of confidence in this team. That gave me a lot more belief in this team. And the cool part about it, I shouldn't say the cool part about it, all this is happening with Caleb not playing at his best. All this is happening. But Caleb plays his best in late game situations. We didn't need late game situations. Well, actually, we did. Oh man, Mr. Shorty checking in. What's up, Popeye? Says I'm in my morning training meeting, so I have you muted, but I can read the chat. FGB. Hey, make sure you order all your FGB shirts from sportzonechicago.com. Make sure you get on that website, place your order. Okay? It's time. You need this. You need to get your FGB shirt. You need to get your FGB shirt. All right, wear it loud, wear it proud. Wear it this week, wear it in 2 weeks. I'm telling you, this is the place to go. SportZoneChicago.com. We have a whole bunch of other items, a whole bunch of other swag. Check it out. Grab you some. So now, this is the last hurdle we have to cross. Okay, and we have a lot in our favor. Still a big game. You got Micah Parsons. Chicago Clubhouse checking in. T. Nick, what's up? He says FGB. You know it, baby. You know it. We'll grab you one. This is the last hurdle. This is our arch rival. This is our arch rival. Now, we've already won in here. Ben Johnson are 1-0 this year. Actually, Ben's like 3-1, 4-1. Caleb's 1-0. But the situation is this. Got to go up there, and you got to win. Okay? If you go up there and win, trust me, what will happen? I think the division's won. I think the division will be won at that point. Now, you still got to go handle Cleveland. You got Green Bay. Again. Okay, then you have the Niners. And you have Detroit. But if you beat Green Bay, on Sunday, that gives us some breathing room for potentially another loss the rest of the way. Okay, it gives us some breathing room. Now, we might not have the number one overall seed in the NFC, but shit, if we fell to number 2, I'll tell you what, I didn't have that on my bingo card. I did not have that on my bingo card. My man Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. And Rick, I will tell you this. You're adamant about F2026, weren't you? And I just kept saying, hey, this is gravy. This is gravy. All right, this is good. I'm really worried about 2026 when everything's good. Remember those conversations? F2026, F going to Milwaukee, going up north. Remember all that? Well, now after this game, this past week, after Friday's game, I am starting to say, why not us? Why not us this year? Why not us? D Rose said it best. D Rose said it best. Why can't I be the youngest MVP in the league? Why? Rick, you did not read my message. I said, hello, fool, F2026, FGB. Yeah. You know, when you're football has it's a weird thing because so oftentimes things fall in line. All right. Maybe before or after you expect them to fall in line. That's just sport. Hell, it's life. Let's keep it a buck. That's life. But when the time is right for you to make that move, make that move. When the time is right for you to go off and grab what many people thought was impossible, go grab it. Go take it. And the Bears are in that position. Now, it'd be great if they won out. If they won out, that'd be great. 14-3. But let's be realistic. 2 games against Green Bay are going to be difficult. Detroit's going to be a formidable opponent. San Francisco is going to be a formidable opponent. And you still can't look down or past Cleveland because they got this guy named Miles something or other who's pretty damn good, who can change a game in a heartbeat. But I'll tell you what, if you come out 3-2 or 4-1 in these last 5 games, my confidence will be through the roof. My confidence is high right now. My confidence in this team is extremely high right now. But if we come out 3-2 or 4-1 in these last 5 games, come on. Because my question is, who can't we beat? Who can't we run on? Who? People talking about, well, this team, that team. Well, we beat a really good Steelers team. We beat a really good Steelers team. Like, well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play. Aaron Rodgers doesn't play defense. Aaron Rodgers is not on that defensive line. So, spare me the nonsense. We only had 100 yards against 99 yards rushing. Okay. So we had 100 yards rushing against Pittsburgh. And man, did we go to work after that. You know, so we had 140 the week before Pittsburgh with Minnesota. We had 100 against the Steelers. And they ended up with an ungodly 281 yards rushing. Brewhouse 7, what's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. It says, in Ben we trust, he says. Yes, we do. Coaching matters. Rick says, if we lose any of these 5 games, I don't mind losing to the Browns due to the fact that it does not hurt our conference record, FGB. Correct. Brewhouse says, 2 more wins gets us to 11 wins. 11 wins. Man, I had 10. Man, anything more than 10. Woo, Charlie. Squeegee 67 says, we just had 2 100-yard rushers in the same game against a team with elite run defense. Say it again. I will. With an elite run defense. Our interior offensive line served pancakes like they were working at IHOP. It was insane. Brujas said I had 8 wins on the season. But Squeegee, it was insane, dude. That, and let me tell you something, that was textbook material. When you want to show people how to run block, you use that game. You use that game. Ralphie Love. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Ralphie Love 37. This is what the Packers players and fans are saying. Good, better, best will rest on Sunday. They have no respect for us. No, I'll tell you what. Well, they got respect for us. They got respect for us. Let's not get it twisted. They got respect for us. They know. They know they're in for a long day. They lost week 1 or last week of the season, the week 18 last year in January. They saw the first 2 games. We lost to them. We lost to the Lions. And now they've seen what a different team this is. You can't go scout. I mean, unless you want to look at formations and maybe, but you want to look at, you're going to have to look at the last couple of weeks to see how well this offensive line is playing. Trust me, Ralphie, they respect us. They're going to talk shit, act like they don't. They respect us. They respect us because we just beat them at the house in January. Just beat them at their house. They see what we've been doing to good teams. They see it. And it don't take a rocket scientist to realize that this offensive line is locked in. I said I made a mistake. They didn't play in week 1. That was Minnesota. My bad. Rick says, Shawn, if I said Tyreek is our 5th best cornerback at the moment, would you agree? Shawn Wright. Kyler Gordon. I don't know about 5th best corner. Who else would you be thinking? Maybe 5th best DB? Yeah. Because who else we got at corner? We got Shawn Wright, Jalen Johnson. He's still ramping up. He only played 61% of the snaps on defense because he was ramping up. So Shawn Wright, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, CJ Gardner-Johnson. Okay, Rick. I can see that. Yeah, I could see that. Shawn Wright, Kyler Gordon, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and now that Jalen Johnson's back. That's 4, and he's fine. Oh, yeah, I could say that. I can agree with you on that one, Rick. And guess what? That's a hell of a 5th cornerback. That's one hell of a 5th cornerback. Brujas says, Bears chat. He says, bear down, Bears chat. Working outside in the cold weather today. Going to put my gloves back on and turn the volume up. Hey, be careful out there, Bubba. Stay warm. Stay warm. Junior says, my father-in-law needs this win. His son-in-law who lives with him is a Packers fan. That's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, I agree. Let's go 3-0 on the Packers in 2025. That'd be dope. That'd be real dope. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. on the other side of the break, okay, we are going to hit our top of the morning topics. All right, so let me get the warden off the CrossFit. He's ready to go. Okay. We'll hit our top of the morning topics, and then we'll wait for Kole Noble at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Suggs leading their defense. So obviously, you keep them healthy. It changes the dynamic of your defense because look at where they have
to take some of his runway away.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Take some of that athleticism away.
Yeah, you're right.
Try to go head on with Jalen Suggs. It ain't going to work out.
Vooch goes mini.
And that ain't going to work out either. You can't let him get that.
Patrick Williams on the floor for the Bulls. He'll take a 3 straight on. Bottoms. Billy Donovan told us before the game he's got to go deep into his bench. Chicago shorthanded. No Kobe White in this one. No Jalen Smith, Dalen Terry. No Zach Collins. Billups with the facial.
And then allowed the space to dictate where you're going. And you see it was a runway. And he put the pressure on Vooch to either step up or get back on the run.
Ankle okay for Trey Jones. Giddy over to DeSumo. The pump. Penetrate. Out to Jones. Puts it up with the left.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Peacock. One of the Bulls were playing on Peacock on Monday. Woo. Man. Fortunately, the Bulls weren't able to bring home the dubs. Let's get it cracking, baby. Let's get it cracking like and stop wasting time. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
She won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See the first top of the morning topic. We're going to start with our bullies, baby. What are you doing? Where'd you go? Actually, no. We're going to start not with the bullies. We're going to start the Hawks. The Blackhawks fell to the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in a shootout yesterday. Spencer Knight, no pun intended. He stopped 25 of 28 shots. Hold on. Sorry. The warden's off. CrossFit. Okay, great. All right. Spencer Knight, he stopped 25 of 28 shots. Oliver Moore lit the lamp for the third time this season. Tyler Bertucci lit the lamp for the 14th time. And Connor Bedard notched his 17th goal on the season. This kid is just amazing. It's freaking amazing. Staying with the Blackhawks, the next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks travel to Tinseltown for a date with the Kings. Puck drops at 9 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus or Hulu, or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. The next top of the morning topic, yes, here we go. The Bulls, yeah. Bulls fall to the Orlando Magic 125-120. Josh Giddey doing some Josh Giddey things. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Matas Buzelis contributed 21 and 6 in the losing campaign, and Mr. Double-double himself, Nikola Vucevic, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Trey Jones also added 20 points in a losing cause. Staying with the Bulls tonight, the Bulls host the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn! Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? They host the Brooklyn Nets tonight at the United Center tip-off at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. You know, the Bulls are in a really, really, really tough spot. We're 9-11. Okay, we started off 5-0. And we've been, I don't know if it's just coming back to earth, but there's a situation where we're just not playing defense. We're not playing defense. I don't know, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. With these last two games, it's, as a basketball fan, it's frustrating. So I can only imagine how Billy Donovan, how frustrated he is. Because watching it, like they're just giving up far too many easy buckets. And I wanted to go to a game, but now I'm kind of like, well, maybe I could better spend my money. Maybe I can allocate my resources differently. I was fired up. Remember the beginning of the season, I was fired up. I couldn't wait to go to, I told you I was going to go to a bowl. I couldn't wait. Now they're playing like crap. It's like, So, as a fan, it sucks. It really does. It's, you sit there and you wonder, and I know Billy got a lot of credit for the 5-0 start, which he should have. I mean, but that also means he's got to get some of the blame for the recent fall. But at some point, you got to put the onus on the players. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. At some point, you're going to have to put the onus on the players. I know they work on defensive rotations. I know they do all these things defensively because we saw them do it in their 5-game win streak. And then for them to have mental lapses like they're having, unacceptable. Unacceptable. My man King Book of World checking in. What's up, Popeyes? Like, salute everyone. And Shawn. That's what I'm talking about. Rick Gonzalez says, I hope we resign both CJ and Nashawn Wright. Shorty 74. I think they're on 1-year deals. FC, BC. Yeah, they're on 1-year deals. I think you can do it, and I think it'll give. See, here's the. The NFL is a copycat league, okay? When you do something different, people are going to watch to see how well it works. Having C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon in there, okay, having 2 nickels, so basically a dime package is what it is. And having that in maybe running downs. Because C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Spidey are not afraid to mix it up and be part of the run defense. They're not. You could deploy them as weapons. You can bring them off the corner. You could have them stunt, come inside the end, have the end go out. Them come in underneath the end. You can play so many games with these guys, and they are so more agile than a linebacker or a defensive lineman. You saw one of C.J. Gardner's sacks earlier this season. He's coming off the corner. The offensive tackle shoved him to push him past the quarterback. Now, a bigger guy, a less nimble guy, would have kept going because of the weight. C.J. Gardner-Johnson took 2 steps, squatted, jumped, caught his balance, and redirected quickly. Right to the quarterback, sack. So on a regular defensive lineman, if you shove him, you know you got an extra 2-3 seconds. 2 seconds. With him, you got less than a second. It's boom, jump, whoop, bottom. That quick. So when you're bringing people off the edge, or you can't, offensive linemen just can't assume that what works on bigger offensive linemen is going to work on smaller, more nimble DBs. I do too, Rick. I really hope we sign those 2 again. King Booker will say it's my fault. When I miss the Bulls games, they're winning. As soon as I catch one live one, they lose and been shit ever since. Like Diamond said, that's where the coach is supposed to crack the whip on the Bulls. I agree. But you crack the whip? How do you deal with it? I personally would crack the whip. Like, look, but I don't know the relationship Billy has with that team. It doesn't seem like cracking the whip, like maybe coming down on him a little bit. But I think he's forged a relationship with him. Or he can't be Henry Hardass because it's just not him in this dynamic within the team. Mr. Shorty says, I can't wait for the Bears to officially make the playoffs so I can shave this raccoon Playoff beard off. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Somebody like Darren says, Shawn, you know how I feel. I have no empathy toward him. I hear you. I hear you. So, but it's okay. They're going to get it turned around. How soon? That's the question that I can't answer. Okay, that's the question I can't answer. Oh. Thank God the Bears are doing well, because if the Bears were doing poorly and the Bulls started doing poorly, how long has it been? That's 4 or 5 winters. That our fall sports teams have sucked. Our fall sports teams have been god awful. Bears are out of it. The Bulls were always out of it. The Hawks are out of it. And what else is there? It's a long time between now and February. And all February is this hot stove talk and people talking baseball. And if you don't like baseball, then you're screwed until next fall. No, I hear King Booker World said if Donovan ain't got the relationship to tell them to get their shit together by now, what the hell? I don't know. It's when I say, because he may not come off as Henry Badass, Henry Hardass. He may not come off like Belichick. He may come off like Pop. But Shawn, I agree with you. P. Won't is being P. Won't again. Yes, he is. What do you have? 8 points yesterday? They showed a 3. It's like his only highlight. Almost half his points in one shot. But there needs to be a lot more tough love with this team. A lot more. And I'm okay saying it. So this just came across the wire. Browns designated quarterback Deshaun Watson for return to practice. So they're opening up his 21-day window. That's what it's. He was hurt for a long time. Remember? King Booker World. That damn P won't. I know, got us excited early in the season. Remember? Got us excited. Patrick Williams got us excited. And like, oh, finally, 6-8 years after, finally he's got it. And then he reverts back to this. But it's frustrating because I really wanted to go see a Bulls game. I was going to pay top tier to get like a 200 level seat, like $100. You know what I mean? And I was going to pay that because, first of all, it's a good seat. My guy has floor seats, like literally at the end of the Bulls bench, and you go, with the Bulls bench, and it goes around the baseline. Excuse me. He's the second row. He's the second row from the court. I'm like, damn. And those tickets are expensive. He sells a lot of them, because it's all drinks included, the whole 9. So let's see. So if I wanted to go to the Brooklyn game tonight, let me see what now they're acting crazy. Here we go. This is mine. A 200 level seat. Oh, damn, these are resale. Okay, a 200 level seat is $155. Okay, a 100 level seat in the last row. Okay, 100 level seat in the last row of the 100 section is also $155. So that's not bad. I would not mind paying that. The Bulls are continuing to play well. I wouldn't mind it. But they went on this losing streak and I started acting like the Bulls from before. Now it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think I could allocate those resources differently. I think I can allocate them differently. That's for damn sure. But it's so fun when basketball is good, when the Bulls are good. Because, man, Chicago's a basketball town. They love. I mean, we're talking from high school, especially in high school. We're big time basketball town. And when the Bulls are not good, King Booker World asked about Sean Watson. He says, if they bring Watson in and start him over Sanders, that will be bogus. Well, he just started. They opened his windows, what Adam Schefter said. He's designated to return to practice. So I guess that 21-day window's open. So I doubt he's going to play Sunday. But here's what Shedor's got to play better. See, the thing that you have to understand is that the NFL means not for long. So you have your shot, Shedor. Make sure no one can take that from you. Make sure that the man they paid $17 trillion to in Deshaun Watson, that they're trying to get him back to earn that money, cannot get on the field because of your play, because of your leadership. You got to Wally Pipp him. For those of you who don't know who Wally Pipp is a person who Lou Gehrig took over for and went on the Iron Man streak that Cal Ripken broke in the 80s or 80s, early 90s. But Wally Pipp was a guy that sat out. Lou Gehrig came in, ended up playing, 12 straight years? 10 straight years, something like that. So you got to Wally Pipp him. You got to make sure that he can't get on the field because of your play. There's 93, King Booker World said. Okay. And I think you have the talent to do it. You just need to go and do it. Oh, listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man, Kole Noble from A to Z Sports. We're going to go over the game from Friday. Then we're going to preview the game against the cousin-kissing Green Bay Packers. Packers, yes. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Kole Noble up next here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books. I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball. Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Every body in a work zone is someone's somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
On the play action, gets his back turned to the defense and just adjusting to that.
Back on the ground to the 50-yard line goes DeAndre Swift. Give it to Swift. He has some room. Gets to the outside, and we'll see where they mark it. Apparently a little bit short. Toss to him. Swift. First down and a lot more, and the ex-Eagle takes it down to the 21-yard line. Adoree Jackson. Williams to Swift. Touchdown. What a drive. He punched the ball into the seats. He's carried 6 times for 43 yards. Wound up in the landing zone and then skidded through the end zone. Start with Swift, who cuts it back. Big gain again. First down. Breaks a tackle, picks up 19 after the 39.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports and Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Prime Video. Those were our boys on Friday. The only game on the docket on Black Friday. And they went into the Lincoln Financial Field and whooped that trick. Whooped that trick. If you watched that clip, you notice, I hope you noticed that DeAndre Swift was on multiple occasions not touched for the first 6 to 8 yards of a carry. Not touched, not breaking a tackle, not bouncing off somebody, not touched. That is utter domination. This is the defending Super Bowl champion. This is the team that got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, the young guy, the guy they got from Miami in the trade. Like you guys, they got some studs. It's one of the best defenses in the NFL. And to not get touched for 8 yards, that's total domination. It's funny, my guy Junior in the chat, because he has a very nasally voice, and his nickname, we call him the Dominator. The Dominator. And that's what the Bears did. They dominated that offensive line, and it wasn't pretty for Philly fans. Bears fans and for offensive linemen in general, that was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. That was a symphony. But the Eagles fans, that was a slow, painful death. We're going to talk about it some more. I guess you've seen him, man. He's been on here plenty of times. Junior. That's me, the Dominator. I love it. I guess he works for A to Z Sports. He's a Bears writer for A to Z Sports. You can find him on Twitter at A to Z _slaw. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports. Our guy, Kole Noble. Cole, what's up, Papa? How are you? Good morning.
Shawn, how's it going? It's not Victory Monday, but I mean, we're a couple days out from it and in a long little break, but
I wore my Bears Victory Monday t-shirt on Monday. I didn't give a damn. and I had the chain, and the chain was rocking.
Yeah, FGB shirt all week long, baby.
That's it. And I was thinking of having a shirt made. This is Bears Victory Monday FGB, combining the shirts.
Yeah.
Just specifically for Green Bay weeks. Specifically for weeks like that. But that's crazy. So let's kind of go back over that game on Friday. How surprised were you at the dominance of the Bears offensive line on that Philadelphia front seven?
I was surprised. I mean, I knew that would probably be the game plan going into it, especially looking at the weather, seeing the win factor during pregame. They were missing field goals in pregame. So I knew, running the ball was going to be the bread and butter, but I didn't expect that. And like you said, against that front seven, no one did. I mean, the offensive line was a master class, and it looked like they were playing a junior varsity team out there, not a defending Super Bowl champion. I was surprised by it, and it started immediately. It went all 60 minutes. I mean, they never let off the gas in that game, and that was the encouraging part to me, is they never abandoned that run game. They didn't have to because they kept the lead, and I know Ben talked about it. Like he didn't say that he sensed something like a frustration or tiredness from the other team, but what he heard was, the offensive line coach, Dan Rushar, behind him saying, run the ball, keep running the ball. And that's what they did for all 60 minutes, crammed it right down the Eagles' throats.
And it was a beautiful thing. They had 40 carries between Monongai and Swift. Monongai had 22 and Swift had 18. 40 carries. You know me. Give me 30 carries. Give me 30 carries a game, and I'm happy as a pig in slop. When you run it 40 times, what I said on Monday was this, is that you adhered and you stuck to your game plan because that was working. But two, you also wanted to send a message. You wanted to send a message to the rest of the NFL. Like, look what we're doing to the defending champs with a vaunted front seven. Just get ready. And I think that statement that he made was going to resonate for the last 5 games of the season, their last 5 opponents, or 4, once the Fudge Packers twice.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like the first primetime game this team's had in a while. So like you said, they had to send a statement. We haven't seen, a lot of the country hasn't seen the Bears, and they've just seen, the Bears are winning. The Bears have a 4-game win streak. The Bears are 8-3 going into this game. They are on top of the NFC North, but no one really watched Bears games because the league wasn't putting them on, some big primetime games. They had a couple 1:00 games in a row. We haven't seen them on a Monday or a Thursday in a while. And, they took that opportunity as, okay, we're going to send a statement now to the entire NFC, the entire conference, the entire NFL that we're for real. All the talk about we haven't played anybody good that we talked about the last time we were talking of, are these wins fraudulent or have they not played anybody? And they answered that immediately with that kind of game. And it sent a statement, a ripple across the entire NFL that you need to start taking this Bears team a little bit more seriously than you were before.
Guys, we're joined by Kole Noble, the Bears writer for A to Z Sports, talking Bears football here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. A lot of people did their best Deion Sanders impression by backpedaling after all the shit they talked. Dakiba Lee, the defensive back from the Broncos and other teams. One of the things he said, the Bears suck. The Bears fucking suck is what he said. And went on a podcast. He was on that same podcast last week saying, I got to apologize to the Bears. I got to apologize to Ben Johnson. And I was like, I got mad respect for you. You make a bold statement like that, and when they come and they hand you your lunch and they show you, just be man up about it. I was wrong because I'm sorry about that. I was wrong. The Bears do not suck, and I love it. It's turning the narrative. Yeah. He said you're right, King Book of World. He said the Bears suck. He goes with Ben Johnson. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, that was early in the year. Like, come on, dude. It was game 2, I think it was. Like, come on, they don't suck. You're learning a new offense. So I was really happy about that. Talk to me about this run game. Monangai got the start, okay, when DeAndre Swift went down. He decides to go ham and get like 70 plus yards rushing. We come back. DeAndre Swift comes back, and all of a sudden he's lowering the shoulder a little more. He's being a lot more physical, being a more physical runner than before. How much of that do you think had to do with him watching Kyle Monangai go off in his first start?
Yeah, that go back to that first start is really when we saw the confidence that they've been saying they had in this guy. And it took a couple weeks to get him going. The beginning of the year, it was Swift getting like, 60, 70% of the carries, and, Caleb getting the other 30%. And then Monangai got like 2 or 3. But now we're like starting to see like a close to a 50-50 mix, as you can see. And like you said, Monangai had 22, Swift had 18 on Friday. And the best part about this is everyone talks about the Sonic and Knuckles in Detroit, and that Swift's Gibbs is like the explosive guy, the home run hitter, and then Dave Montgomery, everyone wants to say he's like put the shoulder down, run through you type of guy, but in reality, both guys can do every play in the playbook. And I think that's what Ben is realizing now with Swift and Monangai, and it's not like they have their lightning and the thunder, like I always called Kamara and Mark Ingram back in the day. The Thunder and the Lightning duo. And Swift is the home run hitter. Yeah, Monangai is a lot more physical, but both guys really, they can pass block, they can catch, they can go on screens, they can run up the middle. Monangai a little bit better than Swift in that regard, and then Swift a little bit better on the the outside zones. But the playbook's wide open with whatever running backs in there, and they're keeping both guys fresh. And then the offensive line is just, paving holes and, paving highways. We'll call it what it is, because that's what it was on Friday. They were paving straight highways against that defensive front. And then they're hitting, second, third level. Swift's making guys miss, and he had some big runs in that game. And I think it's just, a testament to both those guys. They've earned full trust to run that entire playbook offensively.
They're finishing runs. They're finishing runs. They're not just, going out of bounds.
And they're finishing blocks too. That's like what's helping finish runs, is they're finishing blocks first.
Yeah. And so I'm really happy about the development of that run game. All right, it was in question at first, and I don't know what Dan Rochard did during that bye week, but he did something. Maybe he just what I would hope is literally just pull it back to the fundamentals and the basics. And it seems like he had, because their run fits are great, their combo blocks are awesome, the pin and pulls are great. You have Cole Kmet in motion, wham blocking a nose tackle, or 0-1 technique, or a 0 technique, or a 3 technique, coming in motion and getting these guys up. It's amazing what they're doing, and there's really nobody unhappy because they're all contributing. Whether it's DJ Moore or Roma Dunze, you may not be getting as many passes as you'd like, but you're blocking and creating these 15, 20, 30-yard runs. Okay, which demoralizes the defense, and I think they're happy because everybody's contributing and they're doing their own part to make this offense the number 1 run offense in the NFL.
Yeah, and when that schedule came out, I remember saying early bye weeks is going to be great for this team. And usually teams hate having an early bye week because they want a week off late in the season to get guys back, because we've seen like attrition set in for this team. They're getting guys back now, but it's a stretch like we talked about last week and the week before, that Steelers game. They were down multiple guys on that defense, and it'd be nice to have a bye week then. But that bye week back in, week 5 bye week? That was perfect, because it gave you a 4-game sample size, basically a second preseason slate with your starters on the field, fully in those 4 games to say, okay, what's working, what's not. And, during that 4-game stretch, Ben Johnson talked about the struggling run game and said it's the offensive line. We're not gelling. We're having guys miss blocks, and how it is. With offensive line and blocking for the run game. If you have one guy off the assignment, it throws the whole play off. So you got to be on your details. You got to be hat on a hat. Know where you're going. Know where your combos are. So they gave that 4-game sample size for Dan Rochar, Declan Doyle, Ben Johnson, all those guys to sit down and look at those games, have a full week to look with the players, say, this is what we want, this is not what we want. And then since then, they've come out and it's been, rolling right down the road ever since then.
Ben Johnson has done a phenomenal job. And he told us what he's going to do. He said, and Caleb has told us is the same. He wants the same to look different and the different to look the same.
Yep.
There were two plays in particular from that game. Twins left, tight end right, receiver spread out. All right, it's 11 personnel. DJ comes in motion, snap of the ball, jet sweep. Okay. Later in the game, same formation. Two receivers to the left, tight end right, DJ out, one back, 11 personnel again. So what they did with the defense, they rotated. They were in man, so the man who was covering DJ didn't follow him all the way across. The safety came down and followed DJ, and the guy who had DJ on the front side went to the center of the field, middle of the field. Well, on the second play, they said, oh, shit, they're going to run the jet sweep. They just did that earlier in the game. So the safety comes down. The guy who's covering DJ goes back, but they hand it off front side. So the run support, the guy who was covering DJ, who would have been there to make the play, was running to the middle of the field, and the safety who's in the middle of the field, who could have come down the alley, was going the opposite way. How phenomenal a play caller and game setter upper is Ben Johnson. Because when I saw that, I'm like, dude, he literally had guys with their back running away from the play.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about halftime adjustments and coaches make halftime adjustments. They're making like play-by-play adjustments with this coaching staff. And that's just how detailed Ben Johnson is. I mean, you go back to the Bengals game when they hit that shot to Colston Loveland, game winner, hit the seam route to him. He broke the tackle and took the, ball into the end zone to win it under a minute left. He was looking for that specific call, that specific defense all game long, and they finally gave it to him. I mean, that's just how detailed this guy is. So when you talk about he runs that, sweep to DJ Moore and he gets 10 yards on it, and then the Eagles are like, oh, crap, like, that was a, big play, big gain by them. That's, by definition, a big play, a 10-yard run play. And then they set up now, like you bring the safety down and then Ben just makes them pay because he was setting that up, got the look you wanted for it, and then perfect. I mean, the same thing with the Cole Kmet touchdown. I don't know if that was quite the same play you were talking about there, but, the same thing. They're running it, and then boom, they bring the safeties up. Caleb rolls to the left, fires back over the top, and hits Cole Kmet for a dagger touchdown, and that's game over at that point. So I think that's just how detailed and precise he is with his play calling. And he's had a couple issues with it a couple games back with his play calling that I didn't like. But, I mean, since then, like he shut me up on that one too because he's dialing up perfect. Like every defense they're going against, they're so ridiculously detailed with their game plan.
They're detailed, but they're strategic. But I think it seems to me like they're always a step ahead.
Yeah.
And this is a great thing. I coached with one really, really good play caller back in the day. And his philosophy was similar to that of Ben Johnson's. Like our staple play was inside zone. We had a 6'1", 225 running back who ran a 4.5. Okay. We'd run inside zone out of every single God blessed formation we had. And every week we'd be adding different packages, different formations. And the fact that Ben Johnson's able to do this, my guy would set up a play.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'd have the people in the box and like, hey, safety's doing this safety did that when you're doing this. All right, cool. Bet. Be coming in at halftime. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run this. Well, safety's gonna go down. We're gonna take advantage of it. And it was great to see. So I've had a firsthand experience of working with a really, really good play caller and to watch it now with our Bears because we haven't had a really good play caller in a long. Maybe we have to go all the way back to Ron Turner. That's probably the last really good play caller that we had. It is a thing of work. Now, as great as it is, let's get down to the critiques. Okay, Caleb Williams. This is all being done with Caleb Williams not having good games. He'll have key moments, that touchdown key moment. First of all, let's talk about that touchdown. Jesus Christ, that thing unbelievable. Is that thing unfreaking believable or what?
Teardrop throw right over the safety. It was crazy.
Literally outside shoulder. He didn't have to extend his arm that much. It's like, oh.
Rolling left too.
Yeah, we're going to his left. And the thing that I see with Caleb, when he doesn't, and he's not thinking, and he's just playing ball, he's off the charts.
Yeah.
But when he's in structure and he's got to think a little bit, is where I feel he's having more issues. We got to get, and this is why I would say, 2026, where, and I know my guy Rick at the conference was always F2026. But when he gets comfortable in structure, because I don't think he's still comfortable in there. When he gets comfortable, he's able to take those checkdowns, those crossers, those short intermediate routes. Because there were a couple of times, like, we didn't have to come back 5 times this year. Had he hit a lot of his receivers, a lot of his open receivers, not missed them or thrown to a different person, man, these games would have been out of reach early and we wouldn't have to come back. Talk to me about how happy you are with his development. I don't think he can still be a great quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying right now he's in a really weird stage where he's trying to learn, but he's trying to go back to what he does. He's trying to where he's comfortable, but Ben's pushing him out of his comfort zone. He's like, yeah, but talk to me about how you think Caleb is progressing and how you think he's going to finish up.
Yeah. So it's still the basics. I mean, it's still these gimme throws he's missing. It's still, he's trying maybe to do too much. I don't understand because he's talking about like some of the missed throws. I think it might have been the Eagles game where it was on the right side in the end zone. He tried to get it to Rome and shorted it. And like it should have been an easy touchdown. It might have been the Steelers game before. I think it was the Eagles game though. But he talked about that throw specifically and his feet were off. And he couldn't get enough on the throw to get it, from the pocket, deep right into the end zone to run Madunze, who was open. And that should have been, an easy layup touch.
Is that the front corner of the end zone?
Front corner on the right side.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I said. When I saw that, I'm like, his feet weren't right. I didn't even have to look at his feet. Yeah. I'm like, his feet weren't right.
And they've been going like harping on the feet, like harping on the footwork since, May, since March, like all the way back in the spring. They've been trying to get that dialed in for him. So that's still, an issue that they need to work on. And I don't want it to get to a point where they, Ben's saying that they're winning in spite of their passing game. I don't want it to get to a point where they lose because of their passing game. And that's when you finally, bring the hammer down and say, we got to get this fixed. So I was glad to see, even after a win, that Ben Johnson came out on Monday and he called out the passing game. He came out on Tuesday and said, it's not on Caleb. Some of it is on Caleb, but, Caleb's, progressing well. He's running the offense right. He's using his cadence and getting false starts. He's, avoiding some of the pre-snap stuff, with the offensive line, especially in a road game. He talked about how he bailed him out of a bad play call and, fixed the play call in the huddle. That was awesome to see and hear from Ben, give him praise for that. But I don't want to get this to a point where the passing game hurts this team, and it can hurt this team against a team like the Packers this weekend. So I think it was good on him to bring that up and bring that an emphasis going into this week that, back a couple of weeks ago, he publicly brought up the run game going into the bye week.
Right.
And then they came out and have been, lights out since then in the run game. I think this was the emphasis moment where he's sending a message out to the media and, putting that out in the public so everyone makes this, a big storyline this week. So that way they make it, just a more of an emphasis to get that right. And it's just hitting those layups. It's the receivers being on the details. DJ Moore and I think, Burden fell down mid-route and Caleb had it right there on the spot for him. You can't do that. You can't have that happen. And then Caleb can't miss these throws either. So we'll see what happens. That's got to get figured out first. What he's doing afterwards, though, is perfect. When it matters, Caleb is lights out. And he has been. He's got ice in his veins, like he said earlier in the year, the Iceman. And that was the Iceman throw to Cole Kmet. I mean, he needed that one, and he hit it. So that's what mattered at the end of the day. And and they got the win. That's what all that matters. So the stats aren't going to be perfect. And even Ben said that, he's not looking at the stats because that's not, testament to how he's playing or how Caleb's looking. But I mean, we saw the number that Ben said earlier in the summer that he wants Caleb to hit on with that completion percentage, and we see the number he is at right now is far from where he wants to be. So I hope it's more of an emphasis this week to try to get that passing game going.
You know, you talked about that, the emphasis of the numbers. And to me, I don't care. I don't care if Caleb ever gets 4,000 yards. I don't care. I don't care if he ever throws 30 touchdown passes. I don't care. I don't care if he hits 70% of his passes. I don't care. I care that he wins games. And that's what he's doing. Now, if we want to go down that road and critique it, which we can and we do, okay, well then there's room for improvement. But I don't think anyone's going to give back the Lombardi Trophy if Caleb has 65% passing with 3,800 yards and 27 touchdowns. People are still going to show up for the parade. And that's the most important thing that everyone worries about numbers. He's got to be this. It's got to be that. It's got to be this. It doesn't matter. It's got to be the dub at the end of the day. It's got to be the dub, one West Side. It's got to be the dub at the end of the day. And if he can do that, and right now I'm okay with Caleb being a great game manager. I want him to get to being a great game manager, but I'm okay with him managing the game right now. Okay, and then the last couple minutes, when he's got to do something crazy and special, then do something crazy and special. But I'm more than okay with this until he gets more comfortable. Like I said, it's that conflict. Playing in structure, playing off platform. Playing in structure, playing off platform. Too much thinking in playing in structure, just playing ball off platform. If he can just play ball in structure, this kid is really gonna take this quarterback position to another level. He has the ability, he has the receivers, he has the run game, he has the defense. He just got it. He's just fighting, and a lot of things has to do with a lot of shit he has to unlearn from last year.
Yep.
And I think that's what's really hindering him. Because if the sooner we get this, I mean, Cole, there's going to be times. I said this Monday. I want to go into the halves up with 21 points, 21-7, 21-10, 21-14. I don't care. I want to go in with 21 points and 28 points. Say 2 tutties a quarter.
Right.
I said that's what I want to get to that point where we have minimum 21 points at halftime. And it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be 70-yard pass. It should be just monotonously moving down the field. And once he's okay with doing it that way, those big plays are going to come.
Right. And I think they're getting close. I mean, we've always said December, and watch out for December. That's when we're playing our best football, is what Ben has always said. And it's December 3rd, and first game of December is this Packers game. So I'm ready for it. This is potentially the biggest game of the year. I said last week was the biggest game of the year. You know, sending a statement on prime time against the defending champs, but now Packers breathing down your throat on their home turf. You got to try to defend that number 1 seed now. Your hunter became the hunted. So now I want to see how they really respond.
You know, that's a good point. That's a good point. How do you respond as the hunted? It's easy to be the hunter.
Yep.
How you respond as the hunted is the question. And I wasn't happy with the whole Ben Johnson shirt off thing. I couldn't give a rat's ass about the hot dogs. I just thought it was a little too much because you didn't win anything, Cole. You didn't clinch the division. You didn't clinch the number 1 seed through the playoffs. You got to the number 1 seed because the other team lost, but you didn't. There's nothing definitive about that win that captured something for you. You didn't even beat Green Bay. If it was Green Bay, like if he did that this week, I'd have been like, I get it. He just on the road in Philly, and then the arch rival on the road. I get it. But I was a little concerned, and then seeing him in his interview yesterday or Monday and Tuesday, he was just like, "Oh, we got work.
We haven't earned anything."
Yeah. So I'm happy, and as long as they continue to keep that mentality, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Let's go to the other side of the ball.
All right.
How cool was it to see the dime package when you had C.J. Garner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon in there? How awesome is that? And talk to me about how much fun it is to see trying to figure out who's coming if they're coming.
Yeah, I know. It was probably so frustrating for Dennis Allen, thinking about how this defense would be back in the spring. And then he loses Jalen Johnson going into late summer. So that, was a big blow. And then he's out for like the entirety of the season almost. So that was a big blow. And then Kyler Gordon was in and out of the lineup for a couple of weeks, but he imagined what this defense would be back in the summer. And that imagination did not include CJ Gardner-Johnson, which is crazy. So what we saw Friday wasn't even what Dennis Allen hoped his defense to even look like at full health. Because, now you add that guy plus Kyler Gordon. And, the blitz packages, the versatility with Kyler Gordon, I wrote about it this morning. He's Dennis Allen's secret weapon down this final stretch. Now that he's healthy and out there, and he gave up, I think it was 5 receptions for 50 yards in coverage. And he's had some games like that where he's given up 50, 60, 70 yards in coverage. But what he can do on those third downs where you send him, he gets pressure, and then either you get a sack with someone else or, the pressure creates, a pass breakup down the field. That is, those are the plays that really matter. And that's kind of, the way this defense has been all season long anyways, where, when you get the pressure force takeaway or the pressure force third down stop, that means more than the first down 20-yard gain you give up in the passing game when it's all said and done. And so Kyler Gordon being in there, I think that there's a third down play specifically where he went down to the line of scrimmage. They had a guy kind of like tight in the slot on the left, and Gardner-Johnson was over him, but he was like kind of lined up on the line of scrimmage too. And at the snap, they dropped Gardner-Johnson back in coverage and sent Kyler. And then Jalen Hurts rushed the throw over the middle to Dallas Goedert. And then Jalen Johnson had a diving pass breakup, and that was a third down play, and they get off the field with that. So it's confusing quarterbacks. You don't know who's going to be where. You don't know who's coming where. And then especially once you start getting maybe TJ Edwards back, hopefully this week. But, if you get him and Tremaine back, especially, come week 17, 18 into the playoffs, then you're sending in those two linebackers.
Whoa. Did you just say the P word? Did you say the P word?
Say what?
Did you just say the P word? Did you just say playoffs? Playoffs.
Maybe. Playoffs. But yeah, it's about to get real scary. I said, once they get these guys back, it's going to be scary hours for this Dennis Allen defense. We got a little bit of a taste of it. Him and Kyler only played 36 snaps and Jalen only played 33. So they're still not even fully back yet. And we got a little bit of taste of what, that defense might be able to start looking like.
Yeah, and they're gonna keep ramping them up, and I'm really happy with the way that they're doing it. Like, all right, you're all 100%. No, you're not 100% of the plays. All right, we're gonna work you in, get you back in there because Jalen. They started picking on Jalen because I would have picked on Jalen. If I'm the quarterback, I'm going. He's coming back off an injury. Let's see you all pro. Let's see Pro Bowler. Let's see what you got. Oh shit. Okay, maybe not. All right. But until you prove me wrong, I'm going at you. All right, and just to know, and they're gonna continue to get amped up and more plays is going to get is easing them back in. And I'm so fired up. Talk to me about Nahshon Wright. All right. What do you think they want to do with Nahshon Wright and CJ Gardner-Johnson? Do you think they extend them or, they re-sign them because they're only on 1-year deals? And Johnson was just, we'll give you we'll pay your rent every month for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? So, and do you think they keep that? And if they do, will they start a new trend? Because the NFL is a copycat league. Remember when Bill Belichick brought out the 2 tight ends with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez? Everyone was like, "What is he doing? What is he doing?" Then everyone wanted 2 tight ends. Can the Bears start a situation where you get 2 guys like Kyler Gordon and CJ Gardner-Johnson and maneuver them in a regular in base defense, especially in pass defense? But you think the Bears can be ahead and set the trend defensively?
Yeah. I think Gardner-Johnson's definitely a guy that has, I don't know. It's tough. Shawnee's definitely earned it. Shawnee's playing at a Pro Bowl level. Yeah. He's leading the league in takeaways right now. He's second in interceptions. And yeah, he's giving up the most touchdowns on the team, but he's making the most of his opportunities at the same time when he gets them. So, and if he gets a Pro Bowl, he's second right now in Pro Bowl voting behind J.C. Horn, who, was all pro, I believe, last year or at least a Pro Bowler last year with the Panthers. So he's, at that level and deserves, being number 1 because he's had a great year too. But the fact Shawnee's number 2 behind that guy speaks volumes, and that's in the entire league, not just the NFC. So Shawnee's played at a really good level, and I'm happy for him because he was a guy that wasn't playing much last year with the Vikings. people wrote him off all summer whenever he was out on the outside when, during training camp, when Jalen Johnson's out, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, Shawnee's making some good plays out there. He's going to be a great depth guy. Now, he's been a great starter all season long for this defense. But the problem is his skill set is not like CJ Gardner-Johnson's skill set, and especially not the fire and energy that, CJ brings to that defense with just his personality, and the fact that's meshed well with that locker room is something I did not expect to happen. I was very weary when they signed him because of, the last couple of stints he's had and, the bridges burned in Philadelphia. But he's fit right in. And when they had the right leaders in the locker room to, keep everyone on the same page, and the right leaders in the coaching staff to keep him happy and keep him playing at a level he wants to play at. So I think he offers more to your defense when you look at this at the end of the year. And you have to remember they have, Jalen Johnson's locked up. Tyreek Stevenson's got one more year on his deal. And then you have Terrell Smith coming back from injury. You got Zoff Frazier, who you just drafted in the 5th round, that, he had to sit out the season with some personal stuff he was going through. So they're hoping to get him back because they've, structured the.
He's another one, 6'3", cornerback, 6'3" and long.
He fits that same mold as Nahshon. Yeah. I mean, they drafted him because he fits that Al Harris mold of being, a tall, lanky guy, gets, opportunities on the ball, pass breakups. Coming out of the draft and they drafted him, I said that, they just got their version of Reek Woolen in Seattle. Both guys out of UTSA, both guys late round picks, and Reek Woolen was a Pro Bowler early on in his career. So I'm excited, for what that defense can be. And the fact Stevenson already has another year on his contract and Shawnee doesn't. And I think Shawnee's going to, probably earn a lot of money. They'll have to free up some money somewhere else, getting rid of some contracts, especially, maybe on defense, start shedding some money. And it's tough to. I mean, Grady Jarrett's got a high cap hit. Deo's got a high cap hit. And honestly, Brian Poles is not a guy that's restructured contracts before. So I think another team tries to, capitalize on, the big season Shawnee had. And I would personally try to prioritize getting CJ, because if you get a full season of CJ and Kyler next year, that would be a lot of fun.
I think CJ grew up. I think he matured. Yeah. He was a hothead. He's still a hothead. And I was talking to Herb Howard on Monday, and he's like, that dude's off. He's like, I interviewed him in the locker room, goes, that dude's off. He goes, but you need guys like that. And you do. You do need guys like that. And, and it's crazy when you're 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. When you start getting at 26, 27, 28 level, you look at life differently. And I think the fact that, remember when he got the game ball, like he got a little emotional, a little choked up. He's like, man, he goes, I was at home. Mm-hmm. But when you get the thing that you love, probably the most thing in life, beyond his kids, if he has kids, okay, when that gets taken away from you, man, that puts shit in perspective, big time. And I think he felt that void. He felt that blow. That's like a sledgehammer to your chest. Like, you ain't playing. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. And to have that feeling that we all want to be wanted in some aspect of our life, whether it's a relationship, it's a job, it's a sport, it's friendships. You know what I mean? We all want to be wanted. And to not be wanted in the thing that you loved and built your career, your life toward achieving, making the NFL, it's got to hurt, man. And I think he changed up. I think he became less of an asshole, but I still think he's an asshole. And I think in a good way. But I think he's a lot more appreciative of the situation. And I'll tell you what, him, Nahshon Wright, they are clamping down on this freaking opportunity like a goddamn pit bull. And they're not letting it go.
And I think the other thing too with Shawnee versus CJ, and then when you factor in Kyler and then the cornerback depth, is what about the safety depth? I mean, you have no safeties under contract for 2026 right now. And Byard, all pro level, he always said he's gonna play it year by year and keep the main thing. He's gonna come to the table at the end of the year, and I think he gets a significant 1-year deal. And just keeps playing it year by year, because he said that's what he wants to do at this stage of his career. I think Byard comes back. I mean, what do you do about Brisker? I mean, Brisker didn't get that contract, and Kyler did this summer, and he's played I believe he's played every single game. I know there was one week he was going in questionable, but he still told the reporters on Friday he's going to be out there. And he brings a certain level of energy too. So yeah, unfortunately, I just think Shawnee might be the odd man out, and it's just how great he's played and the contract he's going to demand, and just everything else going on with different position groups and the depth you have, the depth you don't. When it comes to, I mean, there's hard decisions every year for a front office and coaching staff, and I think that's going to be one of the difficult ones.
So you think Shawnee's the odd man out? Because I was just going to ask you, my guy King Booker World says you think Stevenson might be the odd man out.
Yeah, it's just the only thing is that Stevenson's still got that rookie deal. I mean, if Stevenson was on the last year of his contract, then you'd probably pay Shawnee over Stevenson. But the fact he's still on the roster next year makes it a little bit more difficult to try to cut bait with a guy on a rookie contract, because a team will quickly pick up Stevenson if you cut him, and it's hard. Teams don't really cut guys that are that productive either, that are on rookie deals. You try to work something out with those kind of guys.
Okay. Ben Johnson. We talked about his ability to scheme. We're talking about his ability to fire up a crowd. He understands the rivalry. He's made it known.
Yep.
Excuse me. How do you see this game? Do you think this is a imperative, a statement game for him? I mean, because he knows the rivalry, being in Detroit. He understands Bears-Packers rivalry. He also understands Bears-Packers rivalry in Lambeau on the road, and what that means, and how and what message that sends. Because Ben likes to send messages. All right, first day, get your, we're going to be running. All right, he told him you're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable. He looked right at Caleb and the boys. So he likes to send messages. How do you think he's approaching this game? Because he can sit there and say, it's just another game. But in for all intents and purposes, it really isn't just another game.
Yeah, and the league's shown you that. They flexed this game. They but made the time official at 7:20 local time for that Week 16 game and at Soldier Field. These are two big games. And it's not just, how big of a rivalry it is. Like, these two games will decide the NFC North. These two games likely will decide the number one seed in the NFC and who gets a first-round bye and who starts the playoffs on the road. Even if it gets to that point. And that margin of error is so razor thin that two losses could just completely knock you out of the playoffs down this final 5-game stretch for either one of these two teams. So, and as much pressure as, as much as Ben Johnson might want to send a statement, I think of the statement Matt LaFleur wants to send in this game. I mean, they're now a little brother to the Bears and looking up at the Bears in the conference. And I'm sure he's telling the guys, like, hey, like, all this talk about Chicago, we need to go out there and put them in their place. So it's a big message to Matt LaFleur. It's a big message with Jeff Hafley, who's the guy, actually game planning against Ben Johnson. I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since, a Bears-Packers matchup has meant this much, beyond just, it's the Bears-Packers. Like, there's a lot going into this game.
There's a ton going into this game, and I think if they win, so if you win, you get an extra game on them. So I think they can split. I don't want them to split, but if you win Sunday, all right, now you gain an extra game. If you lose 2 weeks, it goes back to still ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is a bigger one for the Packers, I would say, because you look at the schedule, they have Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens.
Oh,
and then the Bears have Packers, Browns, and I think it's Browns at home, isn't it?
It is home. Green Bay on the road, Cleveland home, Green Bay home, Frisco road, Lions home,
and then Niners and Lions. So I think this one means a lot more to the Packers, and the fact they get this one at home too. I mean, you got to come in there and be ready for it, because it's easy to get a little ahead of yourself after a big win like they had on Friday. But like you said, like Ben said, they've earned nothing yet. And that was the right message to send as well on Monday. And it's, good to have a guy like that being your head coach. But this one means a lot, because I think if this one means a lot more if the Packers win this one. I think just the way their schedule and their final stretch is. So it'd be hard to drop this week going on the road.
How do you see the Bears attacking Micah Parsons? Right?
Yeah.
He's a monster, and he's one of the best in the game.
Yeah, and if you're Jeff Hafley, who are you going to put him on? You going to put him on the left side or the right side? You're gonna put him on Ozzy. You're gonna put him on the rookie.
You got Ozzy. So engulf him, who keeps getting better and better at that left tackle spot, or you put him in over the arguably the best right tackle in the game.
Right. And then the other thing is Rashawn Gary on the other side. He's been inconsistent and had that inconsistency throughout his career, but he's got a monster game in there every once in a while. Yeah. So you can't just say, okay, we're going to put Darnell on an island on the right side against Rashawn, because then Rashawn can beat you. What they really lost was Devontae White on the interior. And when I talked to Wendell, who's our A to Z writer for Green Bay, I have my preview article. I'm working on it now. I'm going to probably get that out tomorrow. Just going back and forth with some questions with him. But he said that the Devontae White loss is a big one.
Yes, it is.
For that defensive front for Green Bay. So it's not as easy to say we're going to put a tight end and Chip on the left side and help out, Ozzy on Micah, because on the other side you got Rashawn Gary on an island. So we'll see what the game plan is. Ben Johnson's going to be prepared for it. This is a guy you ID, and he said the last one they really had to ID like this was Max Crosby back when they played the Raiders, and that first half Max Crosby dominated that game.
Yeah, he did.
The way he was playing, you thought the Raiders were going to absolutely win that game, but he adjusted. He took Braxton out at halftime or right before halftime, put in Theo, put in Ozzy. They kind of, quieted the storm a little bit in the second half. That was Max Crosby, but even that Steelers game, I mean, man, when Wright got beat by TJ Watt and you had that fumble turn into a touchdown, it was like, oh man, Steelers might pull this game off. So you can't let Micah Parsons ruin this game. I mean, he absolutely is a game changer and a game wrecker, and he can do it in a hurry. We saw that Lions game, and even the week before that game against Minnesota, he stepped up at the end of that game. And, I mean, he came in like a freight train, hit Jared Goff on that last drive, and just ended that game for Detroit. So you can't have that happen. You got to be, all 60 minutes preparing for that guy. And I mean, he's special, man. Micah is special, and Rashawn Gary, when he has that monster game, he looks like a beast too.
Yeah, not looks like a beast. He is a beast, but he's not consistent, and that's the good part about it. Hopefully, and you got to assume that everyone's gonna be up. It's gonna be they're gonna be really motivated for this game, Bears Packers, but also like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of playoff implications in these next couple of weeks and the remainder of the season for both teams. Because the Bears went out, guess what? We're still the number one seed. Super Bowl. The NFC representative has to come through Soldier Field in late January. And it's not going to be nice. All right. And that's in front of the Bears. How do you see them handling that? Because do you think they may be getting a little too big in their britches, or too big for their britches, or what? Because they haven't been, no one. Kevin Byard hasn't been here in this situation in a minute. Jaquan Brisker hasn't been in this situation. DJ Moore hasn't been in this situation. A lot of these guys have never been in this situation, and a lot of winning, a lot of times gets you a little bit of a big head. Do you think they can handle this success? Because handling failure is one thing. Handling success is just as powerful and important. Do you think this team can handle this success?
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw something out there for you. On Friday, when they won, that secured a winning season for the Bears. There is no one that was drafted by the Bears or been with the Bears the last couple of years that have experienced the longest tenured players in this roster are Cole Kmet and Jalen Johnson. This is the first time they've been in a winning season since they've been in Chicago. Wow. Since their college days, they've never experienced something like this, and that was the incentive of bringing in Joe Thuney, the incentive in bringing in Grady Jarrett, and having a guy like Kevin Byard who had a couple playoff runs with the Titans, had a playoff run with the Eagles when he was there. These guys know what it means. Ben Johnson knows what it means to win games and to what it means to deal with success and handle success. So I think that's when the leaders start being the voices in the locker room of hey, we got to keep on it. This week in practice we're not taking a day off on it. I was happy to see them practice on Tuesday. They were out there practicing yesterday, and then they practiced today, and then Thursday, Friday. I mean, it's easy for a team to win on Friday. You have an off day Saturday, Sunday, you're like, oh, we're the number one seed. Monday you come in, Tuesday you come in, and you just, going through the motions. But no, like they were out there practicing, and I think they're sending the right message. and
they were outside. That's the cool part.
They
were outside. They weren't in the Peyton Dome. They were outside. Ben's like, we're going to play outside. We're going to practice outside. And these another. I agree. Another small victory in my mind. In bet, like, all right, let's get our minds right. I know it's cold. I know it sucks. But guess what? We're going to be playing in this on Sunday. So he's making a lot of the right moves, and I'm really excited for what he's going to do and for what this team's going to do on Sunday. Kole, man, great stuff, man. As always, I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, it's on Twitter or X at A2Z_slaw. And then go to A2Z Sports Chicago tab. You can check out all the work we have, previewing the game coming up tomorrow, the stuff throughout the week, even the weekend during the game, post game, and even the A2Z Sports shop went live this week. So if anyone wants some A2Z merch, we got the shop live and going now as well. So you got t-shirts, hats, mugs, just in time for the holidays. I was able to score some, the Cyber Monday deal back on Monday, getting some merch in. So I'm excited to start repping the brand a lot more.
Cool. Good stuff, man. I appreciate the time.
All right. Thanks, Shawn.
All right, buddy. We'll be in touch soon. Hey, I didn't even ask you. Hold on. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. Thank you. Yep. It's always pretty short, but, or not short, but, it's pretty small. I did the turkey trot 5K in the morning, so happy with my time on that. It was freezing, blistering cold out there on Thursday morning, but got out there, ran a little bit, got the juices flowing, and then
was able the turkey trot?
I was just like on the main street of the town I'm in. So me and some buddies got out there, ran a little bit, lost to a corn cob costume on the final stretch. He was right in front of me. I was like, just got to be this corn cob. But yeah, man, it was a great time, and, able to recharge and get all the pounds back in me when we were able to eat. So it was a good time.
Are you in Illinois, or where are you located?
No, I'm a remote. I was, back home in North Carolina with the family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But are you in North Carolina all the time, or are you in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area?
Yeah, usually I've been here in North Carolina since I was in LA for a bit, and then I've been about a year or two back here in North Carolina. Actually my family's from Western North Carolina, so right where Ben Johnson was from. So it's cool, seeing a local guy have so much success with the team.
Oh, it's got to be. That's dope. That's dope. My high school coach, one of the guys who went to my high school is now the interim coach for the Giants, and it's cool. And so I was fired up when Dabo got fired, but when they named Kafka the interim head coach. I'm like, that's pretty damn cool. Some guy from my high school, Northwestern kid, local kid, Southside kid. How awesome that was. So.
Right. Yeah, it was cool seeing the broadcast on Friday, show up the AC Reynolds, Ben Johnson highlights. And I was like, all right, now we're getting some real representation back in WNC.
Dude, that's dope. Good, man. I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving, man. Excellent. Hey, we'll be in touch soon, all right? Thanks again for your time.
All right. Thanks, Shawn. Hey,
bye,
FGB
buddy.
This weekend.
FGB, baby. That's it. That is it. Guys, that's Kole Noble from A2Z Sports talking Bears, Packers this week. Great stuff. FGB. All right. Make sure you guys go order your shirts. All right. You need your FGB shirts. I'm telling you, you will love them. And more importantly, everybody that sees you will love it while you're walking with these. And they're going to be like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Just SportsZoneChicago.com. SportsZoneChicago.com. That's where I got it. That's where you can get it. Go get it. And then if you're feeling froggy, leap. Go get your Bears Victory Monday. So I'm telling you, you get this, you get the FGB shirt, and then Monday you wear this. If we're able to come out with a dub on Sunday, now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas. So make sure you go and you check out that stuff. Again, up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a QR code if you're watching on your computer. Okay, just take a picture of that, and it'll take you right to SportsZoneChicago.com. And if you're on your phone, then just go to SportsZoneChicago.com in your browser, And that'll take you directly to the website. All right. You can get a whole bunch of other cool stuff from Sports Zone Chicago. All right. Awesome. I'm fired up, man. This is, the one thing I was concerned about was the overconfidence of this team. There's a lot of people who've never been here before, never had the number one seed before. All right, and we talked about the hunters becoming the hunted. That's different. Because now you're going to get everyone's best game. You're going to get the best game from the Packers because they hate you. Organizations hate each other. Then you got Cleveland. All right, Cleveland's trying to make a statement with Shador. If they could do it with a team that has a phenomenal run game, then they're making a statement. Then you got the Packers again. All right, then you're going to the Niners. All right, you're going on the road to Santa Clara, Levi Stadium. They want to show they're one of the top teams in the NFC. Then you finish up home against Detroit. All right, and Lord knows we owe them Joker something. We owe them Joker something for the ass whooping they gave us. 31 points they beat us by in week 2. All right, that's the thing that's skewing the plus minus point differential. We're only up plus 1 or 2. It's not very, because we got blown out by 31 points. All right. We talk about statements. That needs to be, and I'm not looking forward to that now. I'm just saying, as we're dissecting each game and the remainder of the schedule, that last game, whatever the situation is, whether we clinched it, whatever, needs to be a statement game. That needs to be a Ben Johnson game. And the one thing that I'm hoping for, that Kole talked about, he said after the bye, when we talked about the run game, what happened to the run game? Run game just took off. He mentioned it. It was an area, and it took off. So what did he just do? He mentioned the passing game. It's an area of concern. Can we see the same thing happen with Caleb? I pray to God we do. I pray to God we do. Because if Caleb gets over 300 yards, we're still going to run the ball. We're not going to stop running the ball. That is not even an option for us to stop running the ball. If Caleb gets over 300 yards, it could be a blowout. Dare I say, it could be a blowout in Lambeau. And Fudge Packer fans will not be happy. You saw how mad Philly fans were. Hell, Santa Claus left way early in the game. What better way? What a better time for Caleb to have his best game of the year and the game of the week. 325, Bears, Packers in Lambeau. What better time for him to have the game of the season for him? 325s, 3 tutties, maybe 40, 50 yards rushing, 120-something QBR, and we still have a running back or 2 with 100 yards. How crazy would that be? The reality of it, it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched for that to happen. 300 yards in the air, 200 yards on the ground. Wow. That is a viable possibility. But listen, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Kole Noble, for coming on, talking Bears with us. All right. I want to thank you guys. You made this chat was lit as always. I love it. Ain't that the truth, though, King Booker World? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And the rabbit's got the gun now. That's, you know what, King Booker World? I say that a lot, and you brought it back to the forefront. I'm gonna say that a lot now. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. The rabbit got the gun now. So Ain't that the truth? He also, King Booker will also say, I feel safe that Coach J won't allow this shit to fly. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. I hope that he's, remember I said, I hope I'd go in there tougher on him. Tougher on him. And tell, what did you do? What did we secure? What did we lock up? What did we lock up with this win, with the win over Philly? Did we clinch the NFC North? No. Did we clinch the NFC number 1 seed in the NFC? No. All right, then we got to go back to work. We got to go back to work. And you know what would be really, really, really great? If the Bears, and I don't know how I'd feel if the Bears decide to sit their starters week 18 because they have the number 1 seed secure. How freaking crazy would that be if the Bears have the number 1 seed and they sit their starters week 18 because they can't lose the number 1 seed? They are the number 1 seed going into the number 1 seed in the NFC going into the playoffs. How crazy would that be? And we ain't worried about the payback to Detroit. Ain't worried about it. We'll get you next year. Hell, we might get you in the playoffs if you make it. Oh, probably not. We got bigger and better things, and that's the one thing that's vital. All right, you got to understand. There was a meme that I saw, and I thought I could have sworn that I yes, it's an African proverb. It says, a cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats. A cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats. That means, yes, Green Bay is important. Detroit's important. That last game for Detroit would be important, but you know what? There's bigger fish to fry. And that's returning the Lombardi Trophy to Hallis Hall. And that is a viable possibility this year and beyond, but definitely this year. Never thought I'd say it. Junior, Bears Country Podcast with Shorty tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. Oh, you got Ken Davis and Glenn Morgan. Ooh. It's a nice show. I'll be at a fundraiser. I got a toy drive to go to tomorrow night. So maybe I'll catch it on replay. Ken Davis and Glenn Morgan on Bears Country Podcast tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on YouTube. That's Shorty's and them's production. All right, so make sure you check that out. All right, folks, let me get out of here. I got to go pick up the warden. I got to go pick up my prescription for the gout. My knee's still killing me. I got a message that it's ready. White Knuckles 48. Thank you for joining us, Papa. Go Pack Go. I'll tell you where they're going to go. Tell you where they're going to go. But we welcome everybody in here, bro. Even Packer fans. Just don't as long as you're respectful, we're cool. We can shit talk all we want. All right, and that's cool. We don't cross the line. We're not like other places where they, respectful. You got your team. Cool. So do we. But no, I'm not going to the St. Rita game today. My knee was jacked up, and I had a whole bunch of other people had asked, and I said, nah, I can't go. My knee's jacked up. And then I was supposed to go to a networking event tonight. I can't go to that either because my knee, the gout was really bad, but whatever. All right, folks, you don't want to hear about that nonsense in my bullshit. All right, so Bruja, I agree. FGB. Hey, Lara, FGB. My man, Junior, FGB. Guys, you have a phenomenal rest of the day. Stay warm. And tonight, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and Thursday morning into Friday morning are going to be frigid. Make sure you fill up the car with gas. Okay? Make sure you warm up your car. And be safe out there, especially if you're working outside like I know King Book World is, and someone else said they were working outside today. It's a Black Diamond, Book World, someone else was working outside. Be careful, all right? Stay warm. Make sure, all right? And it was crazy that someone, I didn't mention it, I guess I should, that the line for the Wiener Circle yesterday was crazy. It was nuts. So, Ben Johnson, man of the people, fed the city of Chicago. Do me a favor and just stay home. Bro, I'm telling you, I am staying home. I just got to go pick up the warden, and that's it. You know, I went shopping yesterday. I already got I got everything for the house. I got chicken legs. I'll make some chicken legs today. So we're good to go. Yeah, I ain't trying to do nothing. So, all right, folks. I love you, and I appreciate the love and the support from you guys. And I will see you on Friday. I will probably have a Packer writer / podcaster on, and we'll try and get one more Bear guy for Friday. All right? So from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, letting you know, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. The boy is out. Oh, yeah, by the way, FGB.
Come on, race the base. Get ready for the top and then answer the drop.